My name is Jordon Bohannon, and this is my resurrection story. I was born in Dixon, Tennessee. My parents are Tina and Ricky Walters, and I've lived my whole life in New Johnsonville, Tennessee. When I was born, my parents attended Assembly of God Church in Camden, and they started taking me to church, and I was dedicated to Christ there as a baby. They had Wednesday night groups called Missionettes, and it was for girls, little girl groups, and my mom would actively be involved with that and teach my class on Wednesday nights. When I was about 7 years old, on the way home from church one night, I remember asking my mom what I had to do to get Jesus in my heart. She explained to me what I had to do, and I said, okay, that's what I want to do. So right there in the car on the bridge between Camden and New Johnsonville, I asked Christ in my life. When I was about 10 years old, we started attending First Assembly of God here in Waverly, and I decided I wanted to get baptized. I was so short that I remember them putting a metal folding chair in the baptistry for me to stand on just so the congregation would be able to see me. When I was attending high school, my mom was working at the credit union where she met Miss Katie Brown, and that's how we started getting connected to WCN. I went to Bethel College in McKenzie, where I was a part of a traveling Christian choir called Renaissance. I didn't get to come home every weekend because I traveled with that a lot of the weekends, and we went to a bunch of different churches and denominations to sing there. Once I graduated college, I moved back to New Johnsonville and regularly attended WCN. We found out that there was a need for a young adult Sunday school class, so we actively started trying to grow one. We were inviting everyone in that age range that was not tied to a Sunday school class to start coming. A young man started coming to Sunday school class, and our first date was actually a Sunday school outing for bowling and pizza. Little did I know at that time, 4.5 years later, I walked down the aisle of WCN, and that same young man would become my husband. I would think one trial that I went through in my life is I actually was diagnosed with a condition called PCOS, which is a type of infertility. I knew that there was something going on with the PCOS before I was originally diagnosed when I was in high school due to some symptoms I had. Once I graduated from college, I had the chance to go and see a doctor, and that's when I was properly diagnosed. I always dreamed of being a mom and wanted to be a mom, and that was a concern for me that was not going to be in my future. People would ask me all the time, when are you going to have a kid? When are you going to get to be a mom? And secretly, I didn't know if that was going to be in my future. I did go to the doctor and have my concerns, and they were able to put me on some medicine for my condition. Fast forward 4 more years down the road, we welcomed our baby girl Addie Kate into the world and stood with family and friends at WCN to dedicate her to Christ. With lots of prayer and family and friends support and stuff, we were able to get pregnant and have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby girl. And to be honest, I was only on the medicine 1 round, and I found out I was pregnant with her, which is a God's doing there, because that wouldn't have necessarily happened. How I got into wanting to sing and to worship God in that way is my grandfather was actually a minister when I was younger, and he loved to sing. He didn't always have the voice for it, but he loved to sing. And at his church, he would want me and my mom to sing. And so from a very young age, about 5 to 7 years old even, me and my mom would get up there together and start singing in front of the congregation at that time. And I had a passion for it from that point forward, because I enjoyed it so much, and I got to see the happiness and joy from it. And so I continued to want to do it when opportunities arise, because that's just something that I have a talent for that I just really enjoy to do and that I want to use for God. I would say the people that directed me in my life towards Christ the most were my parents. They have always been there for me. They have always supported me. They started taking me to church as a baby, and they've never stopped. They have always took me in Sunday mornings. They've took me on Wednesday night classes. My mom helped teach the groups to make sure I had a teacher for that class and that class continued on. And they've always been that role model of going to church themselves and growing up in Christ. I will say one of the things that God is showing me in my life right now as becoming a mother. Before, you never really realized how much love and grace that He has for you. You don't want to believe it sometimes. And after being a mother, seeing the love that I have for Addie, and that it doesn't matter what she does, I still love her unconditionally. I start to realize more and more that that's how He feels by us being His children, which is very humbling to actually realize that. I'm Jordan. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me.